Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fighting's Final. I'm your host, Mike Lauro. Phil's fall and extras tonight to those Florida Marlins 6-5, wasting, and I mean wasting, a great pitching performance by uh, Sanchez tonight, Christopher Sanchez, as he throws 7 shutout innings. The back of the bullpen is just, I don't know what they're saying. I mean, Robertson giving up 2 runs in the 8th. Duran, again, giving up a home run. This is starting to be a little too unfamiliar territory with this dude. And the Phillies offense. Again, Matty kind of touched on it on his show. You know, the long ball. Schwarber with the home run, Otto Kemp with the home run, and then nothing after that. I'm sorry. With no Bryce Harper in your lineup tonight, tonight would have been a great night to not try to play small ball. And when they needed to get the ball into the air, as we just saw in this last inning, they couldn't get the ball in the air to bring in that run. Again, just non-good situational baseball being played by the Phillies tonight as they lose to the Marlins 6-5. Think about that for a second. From the 8th inning on, the Marlins scored 6 runs against this Phillies bullpen. So again, I don't want this to be a problem going forward here now, but with this bullpen with about a month left to go, or I'm sorry, actually 6 games left to go in our regular season, getting ready for the postseason. But you got to be a little worried. Orion Kirkering right now, where do you stick him at? This dude cannot pitch with runners on base. He cannot be brought in with runners on base. He's going to have to be a 6th inning or 7th inning guy. Phillies used a lot of pitchers tonight, going into this. So, unfortunately, and I feel bad because Trevino got the loss tonight, but I guess, he started it as well. So, we will get more into this as we are going. But, hey, you got to give the Marlins credit. They kind of hung around and they did to the Phillies what the Phillies do to everybody else. They really kind of just get in there and just, they outweighed it. The Phillies have been kind of doing that all year long. When they've had a tough pitcher, they were able to get to a bullpen. Now, all of a sudden, it looks like that can't happen. So let me try to get a little more center for you guys here. Sorry about that. But yeah, right now with this whole thing, man, I'm a little flustered with this Phillies team right now. I really, truly am flustered with this team. There you go. I get a little better. I'll put you in my there you go. I moved into my library real quick. My little cozy place. I have to be somewhere because these fish are pesky and they're fighting for their playoff lives. If you heard Matty earlier on his show, he pretty much made mention of that. But this Phillies team, man, this offense, again, starting to falling back into old habits and relying on the home run ball tonight and not driving nothing in. And basically, they were held quiet until the 10th inning. Think about that. From the 2nd to the 10th, 8 innings, they were shut out. Okay? And this Marlins team literally put up 6 runs in the last 4 innings, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. This Phillies bullpen gave up 6 runs tonight. That's not, no. And I know some people don't want to see Orion Kirkering on this postseason roster. I beg to differ on that. I think you just got to find a different role for him. He's got the tools. He just doesn't have the mental makeup yet. Let's get into some of your comments right now. Star Wars saying this was just bad for Sanchez. I don't know about Sanchez. I think he had a pretty good night. Joe Hale saying terrible loss. He's like, I would have went with Strom in the 8th. I don't know, man. My man Foods. Mike Fuji, what's going on, buddy? Hey, Mike, tough loss. You win some, you lose some. At least the Phillies, they showed a little bit of grit fighting back in that. The Marlins kind of put up 2 runs there to go up 5-3, and the Phillies actually were able to come back and tie it. So, I mean, I give them a little kudos for doing that. But it's a pesky fish. He said Dodgers are up 4-0 going in the bottom of the 7th. Okay, Joe. Yeah, we'll get into that, Joe. I'll get over to the I will get over to the scoreboard in just a minute, but again tonight, this Phillies bullpen literally after Sanchez went out, Robertson 2/3 of an inning gives up a run. All right, Tanner Banks is probably the only guy. He only came in and faced one batter, but Tanner Banks a third of an inning. Doesn't give up nothing. Duran is what worries me. This dude now, this is third time now he's given up a home run, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing there, man. I'm really not. He's got to get that ball down. He's not playing in Minnesota anymore. Minnesota's ballpark's a pitcher-friendly ballpark, with the exception of the right porch. Here, the left porch is our unfriendly doing. So, Duran's got to get that ball down. But between Duran and Kerkering giving up runs, it's got to stop. I mean, they gave up 6 runs from the 8th inning on. 6 runs. I'm sorry. That's unacceptable. Phillies offense tonight, unacceptable. Scoring 3 runs in the first 2 innings and then going quiet. Unacceptable. Sitting back, waiting for somebody to blast a long ball. That's what it was tonight. That's all it was them sitting back. They got to get back to putting the ball in play. In the 10th inning, you saw, 2 guys put the ball in play. And, Alec Boehm, who's been pretty hot since he's come back, and, Nick Castellanos, who was sitting on the bench, cold as ice. He turns around and comes in and gets everything up and going. We're going to take a look at the standings right now. Where is it? Oh, there we go. National League. The Mets are 1 game up on the Cubbies. Or I'm sorry, not Cubbies. Reds. They are 1 game up on the Reds right now. In that final wild card spot, as the Reds lost tonight, Mets won. So the Mets are up right now. Phillies continue to be now 3 games back of the Brewers, who are playing later on. Phillies are still 4 up on the Dodgers, and I'm not worried about the Dodgers. If they finish with the same record, the Phillies will get the number 2 seed anyway, so I'm not really worried about that. We'll get to your scores in just a moment. Let me see here. Mike Fuji said, Mike, what's your rotation in the playoffs? For, I guess, the divisionals, Fuji, I would go with God, it's really kind of hard because you don't want to go 3 lefties. So I would do Sanchez, Ranger, and I guess you would have to throw Nola in there, I guess. Or even if you don't want to throw Nola in there, if you're not uncertain, but Nola, I'd throw Walker Buehler in there. That would be my 3. I would give Buehler, because you can't go 3 straight lefties. But yeah, for the DS, I would definitely do Ranger and Sanchez, and then you would have literally right after that, it would be I would throw Walker Buehler in there, man. I would throw Walker Buehler in there. I would give him a shot. I don't think Nola's earned the right, not with his record this year. And Buehler's looked pretty decent for the Phillies. So you go whatever right hot hand you would have going in. So they would be my 3 going into that series. And then, you can go with Sanchez really kind of on short day's rest. Or if you have to pull Luzardo out for a game 4 start in that first one, you have Luzardo, who would be nice and rested. So I think it would be. He goes, at least JT will be okay. Yeah, reports where he just has a contusion, which means, he's got a bruise. And so you might see Marchand or Stubbs get to start tomorrow just to give him a day. Mike Fuji said agreed. Ryan, what's going on, Ryan? Hey. So, guys, real quick, you know what? Let's get a trip around the bases so we can knock out these scores. Alrighty, guys, in Baltimore today, it was the Orioles 6 and the Tampa Bay Rays nothing. God, have the Rays fallen from Grace. They were playing pretty good ball this, probably up until just past the All-Star break. They were playing pretty good ball and was in the playoff hunt. Good Lord, man, have they fallen off? It was the Pirates, the Buccos beating the Reds in Cincinnati today, 4-2. Did not see that one coming. It was the Guardians over the Tigers. Speaking of another team that's free falling, the Tigers. Right now, I believe that I'm going to take a look at this American League standings too, because I got to see. I know they were close. There was like a game or two separating them leading into this series. So I want to take a look at that when we go over there. Of course, you guys saw the Phillies lose today, 6-5. It was the Yankees 3, the White Sox 2. It was the Red Sox 4, the Blue Jays 1. The Braves beat the Nationals 3-2. It was the Mets over the Cubbies 9-7. The Twins beat the Rangers 4-1. Right now, top of the 7th in Anaheim, it is the Royals 3, Angels 2. Bottom of the 7th is the Rockies 3, the Mariners 1. Also bottom 7, Dodgers 4, Diamondbacks nothing. Top of the 8th, here's another one. Phillies might actually not lose any ground. I'm saying that they're going to be 3 out right now. They're still going to be 2.5 because the Padres right now are putting a beating on the Brewers, beating them 6-0. Giants 7-3, top of the 6th in Giants 7-3 over the Cardinals in top of the 6th, and it's the Athletics 2, those pesky Houston Astros 1. Now I'm going to get into this American League real quick because as it sits right now, the Guardians have just overtaken the Tigers for first place. And like I said, the Tigers have been one of the, they were one of the top teams in baseball, really, if you looked at it, for most of the year. And right now they're sitting 3rd. The Tigers would be the first wild card right now if they were to start play. So imagine going from being the best in baseball to not even in the best in your own division to not even the best in your own league, really, if you take a look at it. So, I mean, Tigers really kind of fell on hard times here, man. Blue Jays are leading the way in the American League with 90 wins. Right behind them is the New York Yankees. And believe it or not, right behind them is the Boston Red Sox. You can sandwich the Seattle Mariners in between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Or no, I'm sorry. Between the Yankees and the Red Sox, you can actually squeeze in the Seattle Mariners with 87 wins. So Blue Jays with 90 wins. Cleveland right now 85. Or here we go. Basically, here we go. Yankees, Seattle, Cleveland would be your top 3 in the American League. Your 3 wild cards would be Yankees, Red Sox, and Tigers right now. And right now, the Houston Astros are on the outside looking in, but they're only a game back of the Detroit Tigers. So, I mean, that's looking kind of rough. The National League, again, Brewers sitting at 95 wins. They're going to be at 95. Phillies still at 92, so they'll be 2.5 back of the Brewers as we get down, as we're looking right now. Dodgers in 3rd with 88 wins. Right behind the Dodgers, you have so it would be Brewers, Phillies, Dodgers, and then your 3 wild cards are Cubbies, Padres, and Mets right now. The Mets hold a brief 1-game lead over those pesky Cincinnati Reds. Right behind the Reds would be the Arizona Diamondbacks, and following them up would be the Cardinals, Giants, and Marlins. So there are your teams that are in contention right now. There's your up-to-date standings for tonight's as we leave tonight here. Going on here. Ryan Swim says, why doesn't Durant stick with his off speed and breaking balls more? He throws heaters so much on 0-2 count and pitch counts. His off speed stuff is better. I don't know, Ryan, but he's got to start mixing it in because you're starting to see hitters sitting dead red on his fastball. So I mean, for me, honestly, he's got to start mixing it up because they're just sitting there waiting. And you know. Joe, you're saying the Tigers are a game up. I just did the updated standings, buddy. They are tied at 85 wins apiece. So, and it has Detroit in second place. Now, that could change after this, but what I just showed you guys, I can actually pull it up on screen on Yahoo Sports. They are tied. If they were a game up, they would be tied tonight because they played each other. So, he said Yanks are in the playoffs. Yes, Yankees would hold the top wild card spot in the American League. Mike Fujinami, or Mike Food says Cleveland was under 500 for a time. They were kind of getting ready to sell off all their pieces, man. And you know, you got to give them credit. They fought back, man, and they even got rid of some people too. They got rid of our old boy Carlos Santana. They got rid of him. Duran leaves some of his breaking stuff up too at times, though. Too, yeah. Duran just gotta stop. Like, I don't know if his effectiveness is worn off or what, but like he's all right. He first blown save was against the Mets, and then he had another one, and now another one. Like, this is getting to be a little redundant with him. Like, you got to sit back and make sure that you do that. Thank you, Joe. So, guys, this is going to be an abbreviated one because what can you talk? We've already covered everything that we had to cover in this 6-5 defeat and lack of hitting. And you guys pretty much talked about that a half hour with Maddie B leading up into this show, which I love Maddie to death. But as far as that, on a little Eagles side note, if you guys were wondering about the whole CJ GJ thing, he has to clear waivers first because he was traded to the Texans from the Eagles. So therefore he had to play at least 4 games before they could trade him back. There's some type of like rule about that. So it's kind of like you're loaning a player to a team. So he didn't play the 4 games. He's got to clear waivers. If he clears waivers and the Eagles want to sign him, they can do that. But this Phillies team right now, as they get set, I do believe tomorrow, I think it's Loizac or Luzardo coming tomorrow. So we will. Let me check that real quick. I just want to see who's going tomorrow. I know, I just seen it. I could have sworn it was Luzardo going tomorrow. And now that's 3 games in a row that the Phillies have lost 3 straight. They got to snap out of this. So, yeah, I think tomorrow, I believe it's Luzardo going tomorrow for them guys. So we'll have to sit around, take a look, man, and regroup. It's either Luzardo or it's either going to be Luzardo or Nola. So Uncle Nuge checking in. He said Kirk needs to be off the playoff roster if he cannot change his fastball over. Kirk, I don't know, man. I just think you got to give him. I don't know. Maybe Maddie might agree with me or disagree with me on this. When it comes to Kirk Ring, I think his stuff is electric. I just don't think his maturity up here is matching the stuff that he's capable of doing that. Again, we're talking about a guy, he got brought up, really quick through the Phillies organization. And looking back on that, did they bring him up too quick? Like, this is a rare odyssey that we can actually sit there and say maybe the Phillies didn't do the right thing by bringing him up right away. So, his stuff was, like I said, he may have to mature here to go with his stuff. And that may take another season. I mean, you figure 22, 25 is 3 years. This is like kind of moving up, So I think he'll be okay. I really do. Right now, I'm not trusting him to go on before the 7th inning. I think you have to lock down your 7th inning, 8th inning guys, and then Duran in the 9th. And I'll tell you right now, who's going to be a real good factor for the Phillies, and I hope they keep him on the roster, is Severino. I hope they keep him on the roster, the postseason roster. I really do. I think he could help the Phillies out in the postseason. He's been there before. He's won before. Okay, so he's a former starter. So I'd like to see them keep Severino around. I like his stuff. I just think he could help the Phillies going forward. I really do. It's a wrap saying Thompson already announced his postseason rotation. Sanchez, Suarez, Luzardo, Nola. Okay, so then he is going to go with Nola. I wasn't sure if he was going to go. There had to be a right-hander in there. I think Luzardo and Nola will switch because you got to break up the monotony. I don't think you're going to go 3 straight left-handers in the postseason. That's never good. Otherwise. Philippe Armand. I do remember him. Guys, make sure you guys check out all the great stuff we have here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Starting, where is it at? Starting, that's right. Tomorrow night, we're going to kick it off live. Tomorrow night, we get things started over here. That's right. Myself and Paul Spencer with Props, Locks, and Parlays. Make sure you guys tune in for that. We will be doing our games of the week, recapping our games from last week, which I'm not going to say pretty much I did okay. I think I did all right. I didn't do good in the whatchamacallit. I didn't do good in the the NFL bracket, but I did okay in the college bracket. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Right before me will be the Birds Blast with our boy Matty B and Kyle Quinn. They'll be looking back at that Rams game, looking forward to Tampa. And I'll tell you what, that Tampa game, that Eagles got to exercise some demons in that game. And what we saw last week in the second half, is that for things to come, or was it just simply a mirage? I think Matty B and Kyle will dive into that as we go forward to that. And then right after them, guys, that's right, Pat and Steve will be back on here with you guys for everything MLS and the Philadelphia Union. Make sure you check out the Attacking Third. Also, the Pittsburgh Sports Desk will also be on tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in. Our boys will be on from across the side of the Keystone State. Make sure you join those guys. They will be on tomorrow with us. So they will be following Props, Locks, and Parlays tomorrow. And on Thursday, Gridiron Weekly. Make sure you guys tune in for that as they get ready for that. And as you know what, there is a lot of shows to go through, but I like going through and showing you guys all the logos of our show. So make sure you guys do that. The wraparound. That's right. I will be hosting the wraparound this week. That's right. This Friday night, 10:30, I will be on the wraparound. So I will get you guys ready for not only Eagles football, but a big battle in Happy Valley. That's right. The whiteout is coming, baby. So I will get you guys ready for that. Also, recapping the Phils as well. Sunday, you already know it's me, Pat, and Al. Make sure you guys tune in. We will get you all ready to go for NFL Sunday, looking back on Phillies and Penn State Saturday, and our winter teams as one is kind of moseying on through the playoffs. Or I'm sorry, preseason. The other one getting ready to tip off. Matty B will be back with you every Sunday through Thursday. That's right. He will be on again tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. So make sure you tune in for that as well. And last but not least, guys, 2 other shows. Pittsburgh, Steel City Sunday. That's right. The pre- and post game for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys, make sure you tune in. Big Will and the crew will have you covered. And, of course, Saturday, right after the final whistle, the whiteout at Happy Valley. Make sure you tune in to yours truly, because I will have you cover to cover as we dive in and dissect the Nittany Lions and the Oregon Ducks. Does Penn State have enough to pull this game off, or does Oregon come in here and shock the number 2 team in the nation? We will find out Saturday night. Oh, God, man, you guys were just going crazy right here. All right, here we go. He says Nola will be used in game 4. There will be no switch. So he's going to go 3 left-handers and a right-hander. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Joe Hale says Luzardo tomorrow, Noah Thursday. I thought it was Luzardo tomorrow. I wasn't sure. Noah wants they line up, then Bueller, please. you know, News, that wouldn't be a bad idea. That would not be a bad idea. Mets with a big comeback win after they were peeing their pants. Well, don't worry. They still got another 5 games to blow it. Joe Hill says, I'll be at the Penn State game Saturday. Damn, Joe, you were at all the games, man. I need to know your hookup. My man's at all the Wings games. He goes to all like he's at a lot of he goes to Phillies Mets up in Citi Field. Now you're going to a whiteout. Man, make sure you wear your white, Joe. Make sure you wear your white. That's all I'm saying. He said Detroit is completely Cleveland scored 3 runs without getting the ball out of the infield. Wow. I didn't even see the highlights of that, Noom, so I'm going to have to check out the highlights on that. May have to open the Emporium for tonight's loss. I'm not opening up Notes Emporium. I'm just letting you know, man. From what I've seen, I'm kind of agreeing with what Matt said early on. Like they got 3 runs and thought they didn't have to score anymore. This back end of this bullpen, though, it's really starting to worry me. Like Robertson coming in, like to me, Robertson's been giving up some runs, and Duran hasn't looked good. So I don't know about. I wasn't using any excuses, man, for tonight. They let that team come back and beat them. They should have put them away. They could have, and even without Harper, they could have did that. Cool backdrop, Mike. No, thank you, Michael. Thank you. I kind of sort. I had 4 blown saves for Duran. Yeah, we didn't trade for him to come here and do this here. He got his lights, he's got his music, he's got his Undertaker entrance. What the hell? Go out there and put him away. Like, do what you're supposed to do. You won't be here long if you can't keep these saves here, man. That's one thing he'll get to understand here in Philly. But so Phil's dropped one tonight, 6-5, man. I want to thank you guys for joining me, for staying up. It's almost midnight here. And actually, I just got my phone just rang. So I pretty much know I'm probably getting called in. Duty call, state worker. So, but yes, you guys have a great night, man. Nooms is saying, yes, that's the only saving grace. I think the Brewers are going to get swept out of San Diego. I would, being a degenerate gambler, I'm not a degenerate, but I would have bet the house on the Brewers to win tonight because San Diego was celebrating last night. So I don't know. Maybe it's kind of having the after effect or something because they were celebrating kind of hard for getting the wild card. So Mike Fuge says, have a go with you too, Fuge. So again, guys, thank you once again for everybody that came on and was commenting. You guys have a great night. Get some sleep because that is very important. Until we meet again tomorrow night, Props, Locks, and Parlays, me and Paul Spencer right here on It's a Wrap Sports. Make sure you come in and check us out. We're going to have everything lined up for you. That's the next time I'll see you guys. Have a good night. Phil's lose 6-5. We'll get them tomorrow.